Okay, welcome back to another LeetCode problem. Disclaimer before the thing even starts. I feel like I should always say this, otherwise I'm gonna get roasted if comments ever get left on these videos. I don't know. If they ever get left, we will see. But yeah, so this approach is going to be more for your beginners. This is an easy problem after all in LeetCode, and the solution I will provide is not always going to be the most efficient or the most space efficient, but it is a good place to start. It'll get the problem solved, and you can work on it from there. So this is problem 27, remove element. Again, this is an easy one. So give an integer array nums and an integer val. Remove all occurrences of val in nums in place. The order of elements may be changed. The return number of elements in nums which are not equal to val. Consider the number of elements in nums which are not equal to val bk. This is kind of worded really weirdly. To get accepted, you need to do the following things. Change the array nums such that the first k elements of nums contain the elements that are not equal to val. The remaining elements of nums are not important, as well as the size of nums. Return k. So custom judge. A judge will test your solutions based on the following code. Input array, value to remove, the expected answer with the correct length. It is sorted with no values equaling val. Int k, remove elements, nums, val, color, whatever. Then let's look at the example here. So nums 3223, val 3, so get 22 space here. Whatever is behind this last two doesn't matter. So functions return k equals 2 with the first two elements being 2. It does not matter what you leave beyond the return k, hence they are underscores. Doesn't matter. All right, so constraints here, the length can be between 0 and 100. Looks like any number in that array can be between 0 and 50, and the value can be between 0 and 100. Which is interesting considering numbers can only be between 0 and 50, but whatever. So it could be something like, let's get a real basic thing going here. So we do int k equal to 0 because it wants us to return k. You don't have to call it k, call it whatever you want, but just for ease, I'm going to go through this. And then I'm going to do a for loop for int I equal to 0, I less than nums dot length, and then I plus plus here. And then we'll do a little if statement here. If nums I see, it doesn't equal value, we can go ahead and do nums of the k index equals nums I, and then we can increment k here plus, oh, not that, plus plus, and then we can go ahead and just return k. So this one is actually very, very, very simple compared to anything else we've done. So basically what you want to do, let's just go ahead and run it just to prove it works. And let's go ahead and submit it just to make sure it passes everything before I start yapping. So yeah, so good runtime. It works and everything. Let's go back to the description real quick. Let's kind of walk through this. So int k, we need to return how many integers in this array do not equal this value. So every time we find one that doesn't equal the value, we increment k here, and that's how we get the number of integers that are not the value that's passed in. Now, as for setting the array itself, so for the first index here at index 0, for example, if the index 0 does not equal the value, that means nums at the k index, which in this case is 0, would be equal to nums I, which is also 0. So that's whatever is in the 0 index. So let's look at a case here. So in this case, that's not a good one. Let's do it. Yeah, so this one here too. So in this case, nums in the first index in 0 is 0. So that means that nums 0 doesn't equal 2, which means that nums at k, which at this point is 0, equals nums I. So we just set 0 to the same point here. So it doesn't really do anything. Then increment k, which means now we're going to the next one, and at I equals 1, it's actually 1, which is a coincidence, I guess. That doesn't equal the value. So now at nums 1, because k is also 1, we are then setting nums I, which is 1, equal to that. And then we increment it to 2. So 2 is kind of where we get interesting here because 2 is the value. So at I equal to 2, It does equal to, again, really weird coincidence. So in this case, it does equal the value. So we're going to skip over this and not do anything. We're not going to increment k. So k is still at 1. And then I equal to 3, which is right here. It's 2, which means it does not equal the value. Or which means it equals the value, which means it won't pass this if check, which means we skip over it, we don't increment k, and then k is still at 2 in this case. So k is still looking at this spot right here. And then the next one, so now I is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I is 4, k is 2, but it nums I, so at 4, we get a 3. That does not equal the value, which means we come in here. So now nums at the second index equals nums.I at the fourth, which is 3. So that just means the only way we can switch numbers in the original array is if we are on the same index or past it, which means we're no longer looking back here, which means it doesn't matter if we switch it out. But yeah, that's the solution. Very quick and easy. Hopefully my explanation didn't confuse people too much. But yeah, so that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave questions, comments, concerns in the comments. Again, like I said, this isn't necessarily the most space efficient. If you look at my submission, it actually is pretty space efficient. Actually, in this case, it happens to be. It beats 92.2%. But it's usually not. But in this case, it just so happened to be. But yeah, so this again targeted towards new beginners. If you're still learning Java, you're not that comfortable with it, I do have shameless self plug here. I have a course on Udemy. It's very quick and easy to the point. Java. It's not a multi-week long course. You could probably finish it in a week if you really wanted to. But you'll notice the grindstone, you can finish it in 2 days if you wanted to, and it teaches you everything you need to know to be able to solve problems like this, and a lot more. Honestly, a lot more than just this. But yeah, so if you're interested, friend interested, family, let them know. Code in the description, or not code, link in the description with my referral code in it. If you do think about it, please use that, because otherwise Udemy takes a lot more money than I think they should. But yeah, so I'll see y'all in the next one.